Happy Friday afternoon. The weekend is here. Talk sports. Looking forward to a great weekend and a great sports weekend. New show, Wolf Nation Sports. We still have SFP Sports and the SFP Racing Hour, Dirt Report, all that good stuff. But this is a new show that will be popping in and kind of talking about some stuff in the moment before games. This is the Braves, Atlanta Braves kickoff night. The first pitch coming in a little while. And we're going to talk about baseball. Got kicked off on Wednesday with a blowout. Not a good start for a former college coach, Tony Vitelli. But it's only one game, as they say. So we will see. But it is good to be here. Hope all have had a great day, and hoping you will have a great night. My son is in the studio with me, off camera. He's not much for the camera. If he decides to, we'll put the camera on it. Probably not. He's a little shy. Every once in a while he joins me. I'm Dave, a.k.a. the Cornbread Man. If you've never joined the show before, we broadcast live really every day. Sometimes we miss shows. Can be helped. My wife's health is sometimes requires me to be there, but we try our best not to do that. We have a great team. Have a great team of several. Pray for our newest Midnight Rider, Brother Daryl, needs prayer. He said he needs prayer. He's having some problems with his health. He's had problems, and he's going through some problems again. Y'all pray for him. He'll be back soon because we're going to pray him back to good health. Biscuit Boy was talking to him this afternoon. We've been communicating about many things all afternoon. Chaser's working. Marine, home, Dusty, Desi, don't know. They may jump in here a little bit. Probably later though when I come back on with the back porch live. Will soon be from the back porch at Biscuit Boy's house, but right now from the studio. Well, it was a big kickoff for the MLB, and we love baseball. We do like baseball. And on Wednesday, the Yankees just pulled out the whooping stick and beat the tar, as we'll say down here in the South, out of the Giants. 7-0 was pretty ugly. Really hurt as a Braves fan. There's Max Fried, former Braves pitcher. You know, the Braves won't pay the money that others will, being owned by who they are. Still makes me very mad. Why is my thing doing that? My computer is acting up tonight. I think it's because I signed in a different way. So I may have to pop things off of there. We'll get that fixed. It was acting up before we went live. But the Max Fried 1-0 had a little bit of a slow start in the first inning. Walked a guy, but he got out of it. He's notorious for that. Max Fried always, if you get him out of the first inning, usually he'd have a good game. He gets stronger as the game goes on. He's going to do well there. Done well there. 1-0. So didn't give up no runs. So he's 0.00 ERA. Webb hammered. He's got over a 10. And the Yankees are going to be in the thick of it again. Obviously, the Dodgers are going for the three-peat. I'm sure the Yankees would like to knock them out of that. But yeah, the Yankees just kick off the 2026 season in a big way. And for the Giants, not a good start. Playing at home, not the way you want to start your season. Chisholm Jr. had a stolen base for the Yankees. They did get 3 of their relievers in, though. Max for a first game, not bad. 6.1 innings, only gave up 2 hits, 1 walk, had 4 Ks. You know, if he's on, he's getting a lot of ground balls. If he's not, it's walks and hits. Sometimes homers, but he was on. He did hit a batter, Schmidt. He did hit a batter, but overall, great start. Not a good start for the Giants, the San Francisco Giants. Chisholm also had a triple. Stanton, McMahon, Grissom, Caballero, all had RBIs. Left on base 6. Well, I was watching the Cubbies last night. They had like 19 runners left on base. Not good. Not a good start for the Cubs at home either. And in saying that, we will jump to Thursday night's games as we get ready to really kind of go for looking at tonight's games, kind of catching up a little bit. Thursday night, afternoon into the night, as I got on the games, some of them had already played. They had some early games. And those Mets predicted to be very good this year. It was in kind of a shootout, 11-7 over the Pirates. Mets believe they've got something, but they are start out 1-0 and 1-0 at home. Peralta got the win. Did have a great game. He gave up the 7 runs. So Skeens, not good. He had the loss, and he's sitting at a 67.5. That first game's rough. Skeens, uber talented as we know, flamethrower, but he had a bad time there because he only went 2/3 of an inning and he gave up 4 hits and 5 earned runs. He did get a strikeout and 2 walks. Horrible. Oh my goodness, Skeens. Peralta for the win though. Home runs. O'Hearn. Low for the Pirates. Alvarez and Binge for the Mets. Let's see here. Left on base 10. 10 for the Mets. That's not good. And left on base 3 for the Pirates. But anyway, just a little bit. I'll get too deep into it. Peralta went 5 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs. Like I say, yeah, 4 is not terrible. It looks bad, obviously, but sometimes a lot of pitchers will be up around the 4 mark. Still a pretty good season. 7 Ks. Did give up 2 home runs. Garcia closed it out with 1 inning, and Myers backed him up before that. Like I say, Skeens, bad start. 2/3 of an inning, 4 hits, 5 runs, 5 earned, 2 walks, 1 K. He didn't give up a home run, but he gave up everything else. He's got a 67.5 ERA. Horrible. I'm sure the Pirates fans were like, what the heck? And they used about 6 pitchers besides that, so 7 pitchers in all. Not a good start to your season to get those arms used like that, but everybody only did maybe an inning. Ramirez did 2 because, they were just trying to get through this thing. The pitching staff, 8 innings pitched, 11 hits, 11 runs, 11 earned, 9 walks, did have 10 Ks, gave up 2 home runs. Not good. Hit by pitch Alvarez by Skeens. Boy, he just had a bad. That's one of those you want to go back through the revolving door, come back out on the field again. Maybe he stepped on the line when he was coming out. He maybe accidentally stepped on the line. I don't know. That's a bad start, though. Horrible. Good grief. And I'm not digging on the Pirates. I actually like the Pirates. I don't like the Mets. But there you go. So RBIs for the Pirates. They did have some offense. It was just horrible pitching. Hearn 1, Lowe 3, Gonzalez 2. For the Mets, Simeon 1, Polanco 1, Soto 1, Bichette 1, Robert Jr. 2, Beatty 3, Binge 1. So anyway, not too deep in the stats. You can go so deep in these stats, but that's a good overview of that. Bad start, but 1 game. You'd rather have it early than later. So make sure my phone was turned down here. Solid. I heard it dinging. Sorry about that. All right. Somebody trying to sell me a car. Hey, broski. But yeah, what a Skeens. You wouldn't have expected that. But why not? Every once in a while, some of those flamethrowers like that, they'll have a game like that where they just suck. It was definitely the pitching is usually you would think the pitching would be ahead of the hitting right now, but in many of these games it's not. A lot of runs scored. The Brewers 14-2 over the White Sox. Wow. Let's pull their box score up. Let me go back. I pulled up the wrong thing there. Let's get this. Here we go. The Brewers, the Brew Crew. Oh, my goodness. Let's see here. And then for the Sox, Smith, an inning and 2/3. 3 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned, 2 walks, 2 Ks. He's at a 16.20. I did hear about the car crash. Do we know anything about it? As I looked at it at work, there was no information about how he was doing. I mean, I hated the news article. It was like Tiger Woods and rollover crash 2 weeks before Masters. Who cares about that right now? As a human being, okay. These guys, I tell you, this guy. I mean, maybe he's rich. I mean, hire a driver, dude. I mean, this is a second time bad crash. We don't know how bad this one is, but if you hear it pop it in, I really haven't had the time to look. Thanks for reminding me though, because I saw that at work, and then getting home and getting everything set up, I just kind of forgot. See here, Newcomb gave up 2 runs in a 2 and a third inning. Gilbert gave up 2. I mean, they just they got deeper into the bullpen for the White Sox. Hicks gave up 3 earned, and Paez gave up 3 earned. Lesher's the only one that didn't do anything bad. He had an inning, zeros. I mean, like I said, not good. You think coming out of well, that's what I wondered, broski. I mean, you got to wonder. I mean, I'm sorry, our minds are going to go there, right? Don't know the details. I suppose the legs are messed up, but who knows? Yeah, we just don't know. That's horrible. I mean, and again, right now, the health of the human being. But, it's unbelievable. That's only, what was that, 5 years ago? Or was that longer than that? When was that crash he had? Was that 21? 5 years? Anyway, horrible. Missy Orowski pitched 5 innings, only gave up a run, only 2 hits. 11 Ks. Wow. Smoking them down. Left on base for the Brew Crew was 7. For the Sox, also 7. Home runs, Bowers for the Brew Crew and Frelick. So they had 2 home runs for the Sox. Murakami and Meadroff each had 1. So anyway, 14-2. It's like a football game with a safety thrown in. Another game, and I watched this a good portion of this game because I was trying to pick. I've got the MLB package. I'm going to pick up the Braves package. We were just going to do Braves, but it went ahead and we'd already paid for that when I found out about Braves Vision. But it's good to get all the games. You break it down. It's not really that much a month, and we like to flip around to different games. When I was in fantasy leagues for baseball, I really wanted it. The Nationals just jumped all over the Cubbies. I was watching some great old-time Cubs up there singing the 7th inning stretch, and they ended with, "Let's get some runs." And it looked like they were going to do it. They got a little hot in that next inning, but it only resulted, I think they got 1 run out of that. The Nationals 1-0. Obviously, the Cubs 0-1, 10-4. Lord with the win for the Nationals. Boyd, bad game with a loss for the Cubbies playing at home. Home teams were not looking good in the first game. For the Cubs, Bush had 3 hits and RBI from first base. Not nice. Crow Armstrong had 2 hits and 2 RBIs from center field. Bush had 2 doubles. Swanson and Crow Armstrong both had 2. Swanson, Bush each had an RBI, and Crow Armstrong 2. They did leave 9 on, and I saw that. It was about, I thought it was around 10, but it was 9. Washington gets it done. Home runs, Young, Weimer, and House. Double, Chaparro. So there you go. They'll be back in action. Some of these teams will be Saturday. I think because it's kind of weird how they start the season sometimes. They'll have a game in between, and then they'll come back. In a more traditional type baseball game, not football, the Orioles beat the Twins 2-1. Orioles should be pretty decent this year. They were the home team here, and they got the win. Rogers with the win, Thunderbird with the loss, but a good effort. Still, though, he didn't pitch that long enough. That ERA is 13.5. Hensley with a save. Finally a save by somebody. Orioles over the Twins 2-1. The Red Sox Over the Reds, yes. I like the Red Sox, always have. 3-0. They had 12 hits. Crochet, the win. Johnson, the loss. Chapman still getting it done. His number is 44. Is he above that age or below? He's been around for a while. He got the save. The Red Sox, 3-0. The Angels, 3-0 over the Stros. Siriano got the win. Blue ball. What did they? You got the loss. Romano, the save. So the Angels get started with a win. The Tigers, they've been strong over these last few years. 8-2 over the Padres. Scubal, the win. Pavetta, the loss. 18 on his ERA. He's always been about a 5 anyway. I had him in fantasy leagues a bunch of times. He'll get you some wins, but he gives up a lot of runs. And he did in this game. I was rooting for the Rangers, but the Phillies topped the Rangers 5-3. You know, I wanted the it wouldn't have been a division game, but anything to see the Phillies lose, because that's the divisional rival, obviously, of the Braves, but the Rangers don't get it done. Sanchez got the win, Evaldi the loss, Duran the save, Phillies 5-3. Let's see here. Let's dig in just a little deeper on this one. Home run Schwarber. Well, I like him. And Baum. Phillies got some power. They definitely got some power. Home runs for Berger on Texas side. 6 left on base for Texas. It's actually 7 by the Phillies. McCutcheon had a double. I've always liked him. He's been out there for a while. Let's see here. Stolen base Stott. Got 1. And let's see. Doubles Marsh had 2. Oh, there you go. All right. Let's go on. Another big game. 9-7. The Cardinals get it done over the Rays. O'Brien, the win. Clevenger, the loss. Stanek, that long hair with a save. 9-5. 17 hits for the Rays, 14 for the Cardinals. Jeez. These pitchers are rough starting on some of these games. For the Cardinals, Liberatore, he pitched 5 innings. He did his job, 1 earned run, 2 strikes, 7 hits, spread them out. But Swanson came in and gave up 3. Brule came in and gave up 2. And then Raycroft came in and gave up 1. For the Cardinals, for the Rays, it was even worse. Rasmussen, so the bullpen's horrible today, or like yesterday. 5 innings for Rasmussen. He only gave up a run, 4 hits, 2 Ks. Did give up a home run. But Seymour came in and gave up 5 hits, 5 runs, 5 earned, and just a horrible. And he didn't even get – he got pulled. He didn't get an out. What a day. Go to the showers, kid. Wash that mess off because you're stinking. But as bad as that was, he didn't get the loss because Clevenger ended up getting the loss. He gave up 2. So he gets the 54 ERA. Jax came in just a third, gave up a run, so he's 13.5. Gomez came in and gave up a walk, but he got a K and got Tampa Bay out of it without any more damage, but they lose 9-7. Just a lot of hits. Nothing big, just a lot of hits. Well, there was a home run. Weatherholt homered, and Aranda, they listed that a little different. I don't know why. The rest of it was hits. Oh, Burleson had a home run again, or once. All right. Work through these and get to tonight's games. The hated Dodgers. Yes, I hate them. They got the win. Your champions. Oh, let me go back. We'll pull up that a little different. 8-2 over the Diamondbacks. Yamamoto, the win. Gallen, the loss. Yamamoto, Gave up pitched 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, 6 Ks. Gave up a home run. Gallen, 4 innings pitched, 5 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned, 2 walks, 2 Ks. Also a home run. Home runs by the Dodgers, Smith and Pages. RBIs, Betts, Tucker, Smith had 3. Pages had 3. On the Diamondback side, Perdomo, I like him, home run. And RBI, he had 2. Caught Steven Perdomo. So anyway, there you go. The Dodgers are loaded. I mean, you had Ohtani DHing in this game. Tucker, Betts, Freeman still there at first base. Smith, center field. Muncy, really good player. Hernandez, Pages, and Rojas. This is a loaded team. Not that this Diamondbacks team don't have some talent. They do have a lot of good talent. But the Dodgers, wow. Loaded up. The Guardians, I'd say, Indians, over the Mariners, 6-4. Brogdon the win. Spear the loss. Smith the save, 6-4. All right, that was yesterday. Let's get to tonight's game. Some are already in motion. The Yankees and Giants are back at it again after a game off or a day off. In between, the Yankees and Giants are scoreless. 2 hits for the Yankees, 1 for the Giants. And we will see here Schleter pitching for the Yankees. He has given up a hit. They're in the 3rd inning. And for the Giants is Ray. He's had 3 walks, 2 hits. He's not giving up anything. So there you go, 0-0 at the end of the 3rd. Now, Yankees, Giants. So the Giants off to a better start. They was talking about Valedo. He came up from the Tennessee, straight from college up to the head coach. That just hasn't happened before. He's wanting to get – I watched some of his press conference. He was trying – you could tell he was he's a fiery guy. He's the kind of guy to meet you out in the field and fight. He don't care. But you could tell that shell-shocked him a little bit. He was a little bit trying to have all the right things to say and everything. No, that was not in any way. You can handle a loss, but a blowout like that where you just get waxed, he wasn't expecting that. So a lot of pressure kind of mounts there. People be not happy about that. He's a good coach, though. I'd be interested to see. That's a big jump, straight up, But there was a lot of teams wanted him, and if he does that, maybe people might look a little more for those college baseball coaches to come up. He's done. I know Tennessee fans were hated to lose him because he's had them in the mix of it for a long time, and he's not that old of a guy, but he's been there for a good while. There's been some controversy there too, a little bit. I mean, he's got a little bit of trouble too. Coming up at 7:07, the Athletics and the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays are at home. Toronto, the home of Broski, here soon. Go watch you some Blue Jays. Severino, is the probable pitcher for the Athletics. Gausman for the Blue Jays. And so we'll see. Rogers Center, Toronto, Canada. Or Ontario, Toronto, Ontario. Officially say it. The Rockies and the Marlins, Freeland. Very soon, actually, you say. Okay. He says he'll be making that move pretty soon. Business and otherwise up there. Big changes for him for a little while, or rest of his life. In many ways. Freeland and Alcantara, I like him. He's a good pitcher for the Marlins. The problem with the Marlins is that they're in a sucky town for baseball. A sucky town. They need to get Marlins have got to get out of Miami. It's Nashville. Hello. Get you a team. Go get that team. They've always had talent, but they always sell it. Trade it off because they can't afford to keep them. Get that team out of Miami. Change the name. I mean, I hate it, but that's what's going to happen. I'm not big on teams moving, but this experiment has not worked for Miami. This it's just not going to work. It's a great place to see a ball game, and he says looking for a place. So got to find him a place. That game first pitch 7:10. That's on MLB TV too. Well, all of them are. I mean, or most of them are. Some are blacked out for me. All right, 7:15. The Braves and the Royals. Yes, the Braves are home at Truist Park. Reagans for KC. Chris Sale for the Bravos. He is, got a little age on him, but he still brings it. So hopefully he can get another really good season out of him. And we'll see what the Braves have got this year. Probable lineup here for KC: Garcia, Witt Jr., Thomas, Perez, Pasquantino, Marte, India, Collins, Jensen, the DH for the Bravos. Of course, Acuna Jr. leading off, Baldwin the DH, Albies, of course, from second, Olson from first, Riley from third. They're really good. I mean, yeah, a little bit maybe. They need to get more out of the shortstop, but the infield is solid. I mean, that's some great batters there. Wide in left field. Of course, they lost their center fielder, and they're moving Harris over, using the roids or whatever he was using. Dubon, shortstop. Let's see what he can do. Heim at catcher, and of course Michael Harris, the second from center field. This is a good team. It's a really good team. But I always feel like they need a little bit more. The Braves need a little bit more, and they're probably not. They're not going to spend it. But and of course Sale on the mound, and so we'll see. We will see. So for their division, the Phillies already won, New York's won, Washington won, Miami hasn't played, and Atlanta hadn't played, so they're already half game out. But we'll see what happens tonight. So come on, Braves. Let's see what you can do. Chris Sale, of course, the left-hander, but Reagans is also a left-hander. Interesting, they both have numbers in the 50s. Chris Sale, number 51. Reagans is number 55. So we'll see. Let's see here. Injury report for Spencer Strider starting out on the 15-day DL for the Braves. Seon Kim, shortstop, 10-day DL. Sean Murphy, catcher, is on the 10-day. Hurston Waltrip, starting pitcher, 15-day. And Daysbel Hernandez on the 15-day DL. For the Kansas City Royals, Massey, 10-day. Kolchak, 15-day. James MacArthur. I work with a James MacArthur. It's funny. I work with that James MacArthur, but it's a different guy. 15-day DL. Alec Marsh, 60-day DL. So we'll see. That game be kicking off here in not long, less than 2 hours. So go Braves. Let's look at the rest of the schedule for tonight. The Angels and the Stros. Kikuchi and Burrows pitching tonight for the teams, the Guardians and the Indians and Mariners, if I can speak. Kirby and Williams. On the mound, the Tigers and the Padres. Back at it again. Valdez and King. The Diamondbacks and the Dodgers. That's a late game. 10-10. That Tigers game is 9:40. 10-10. Nelson and Sheehan. Probably catch that one late. I'll probably watch some of that. Broski giving us some information. I'll put that up. I want to get this one first. A's lost attendance. Then Tampa, then Miami. Wow. And the A's have got to move as well, Broski. Tampa, I mean, I thought they would do better, honestly. But the A's have got to get out. That's another team that could be a potential for Nashville. I don't know where else you go. I mean, there's some cities, I'm sure, but Nashville is going to get a baseball. I mean, you just think it has to happen, I want to divert and I'm going to go back to baseball. Why in the world would the Titans build a NFL stadium that only holds 60,000? I know you want to make it a little more, I guess they'll charge more. I don't know, but that's a lot of people. But I was a little shocked. That sounded a little low to me. And they're wanting to have, I'm sure, a Super Bowl with 60,000. But Nashville's a growing town. There's a lot going on. It'd be a great place for a baseball team. It's not going to hurt the Braves at all. Well, you're probably right. That's a good point. But they got to get out of Oakland. It's just not. It's not working. It's not going to work. They always are this. They're just like the Marlins. They're always selling off their talent, trading it, whatever. And they bring a lot of talent through there. They really do. I give them credit. Their farm system, they've done well. It's just sad that when you as a scout, you realize you're only going to be able to keep them for 3, 4, 5 years. By the time they get to be a really good player, superstar maybe, they go somewhere else. So that stinks, The Charlotte Knights, he says, are the AAA team for the White Sox. I may have known that, but I dang sure forgot it. Soldier Field only holds 60. I didn't know that. But honestly, ain't they trying to get a new stadium, though? Right? I bet it'll be bigger next time around. That's the thing. The A's will move to Vegas. Tampa and Miami both need to relocate. It smells like Nashville in either Charlotte or Raleigh. You're right. Charlotte would be an option. That's a growing city as well. Raleigh. You think Raleigh would? I don't know. I would think Charlotte before Raleigh. There's no doubt Nashville is in the mix. They have to be in the mix for a team. And I mean, it'll play well there. I mean, it's a great tie-in. I mean, that city is exploding. That the whole, Tennessee, that whole North Alabama, up in the middle of Tennessee, and all that. It's all exploding. They've got land, lower taxes, and there's a lot of people moving in. These places are exploding, and into Georgia as well. But there's a lot going on here as well in that way. But obviously Atlanta can, a much bigger city, but those are growing cities, and they would support that, and there'd be good travel. There'd be a lot of people travel to see these games as well, and I hate it that they didn't work where they were at. It just doesn't work. The one team that surprised me, I didn't think that the Jaguars would ever make it in Jacksonville, but they have held on, and they've built something really nice there, because for a long time that looked like it was going to be a disaster. I just think that they're kind of the model to say it can happen. Baseball is huge in North Carolina. Well, yeah, I mean, and like I said, there's a lot of fans, and I think if you get in a decent sized city, you can make it work. I mean, Miami just don't support it. I mean, they've got the people. Does that shock you, broski? What is the problem? I mean, there's got to be with all the Cubans that are there. You would think they would love the baseball, but they don't. They don't support it. What is the problem there? I mean, I really don't understand that. I mean, maybe I just Tampa. They always said it was a lot of other things going on and things close by that people wanted tourists. I don't know, tourist town, whatever you want to say. And it has its rough parts too. I've been there. I've seen it. And Miami does too, but I don't know what it is. They just can't seem to make it there. But you know what? You can keep being insane because it's insanity to keep them there because it's not going to change. And there are some options. And I would say, Nashville will get his pick. But Vegas, I didn't think about that. Vegas, they don't have one in that. All the sports teams are moving there. That's a great location. The Cubans can afford it, and everyone else there is foreign and don't care about baseball. Okay, enough said. Okay, I get it. Oh, there's got to be a couple other cities though that wasn't there talk of putting one in Iowa, a pro franchise? Wasn't there talk of that? Seems like there was. I don't remember. But baseball is back, and I'm happy about that. Raleigh Metro is as big as Charlotte Metro, but Charlotte City is bigger than Raleigh. Both areas are huge growth. Carolina Hurricanes play in Raleigh. Okay. But how far apart are they? I don't remember. I've been in North Carolina a bunch of times. I mean, it's a pretty good distance, but how far is that? I don't remember the distance. I would think you wouldn't get two, but you get one or the other. But I would think it's going to be Charlotte if it was going to be one in North Carolina. Nothing against Raleigh. I just think that I just think it would be Charlotte. It just makes sense. There's so much sports wise going on there, and I would think it's Charlotte. Nashville's a shoe in. Yeah, I don't know if they would look at anything outside the country yet. I think that's coming. I don't think there's another place in Canada right now that was they would think about. Oh, 3 hours. Okay. Well, that's going to be because Nashville, Atlanta is what, 4.5. So it's a little bit more. Um, so yeah, I'm not saying it's impossible, but I would think you would see Charlotte come out a winner here, and I would like it in the Southeast to get a couple more pro franchises. I mean, it gives you options. Plus, all these big market cities and stuff. That's got these on the West Coast and up the Eastern Seaboard and stuff, and you know. But hey, Chicago supports too, and has for a long time. I know that's a really big city, but um, could that be an option? Could there be, somebody says L.A. supports two franchises. New York, of course, these are huge cities. I get it, but is there another city out there that would support a team? I don't know. I mean, about everywhere you can think about, there's already teams there. So I don't know. Only other cities I can think of would be in contention are Oklahoma City and San Antonio. I thought about San Antonio. There's been talk about that before, but they always seem to think that I don't know. It's so far down the travel, which I know they fly and everything, but I think Oklahoma City would be much more of an option, I think, than San Antonio right now. Fourth and fifth lowest attendance are Pirates and White Sox. There has been talk about the Pirates over the years, maybe, because they're sick of they need, they want more obviously money, support, and all that. So there has been talk. I still don't think the White Sox would move. You never know, though. I never thought Cleveland would football would do that either. So that's the thing. I mean, and the TV money makes. I mean, they all get TV money and stuff like that. But people in the seats, that's a big money maker. And when you don't have that, it hurts. Concessions and all that. I mean, they just got to think through that. I don't think there's anything else they can do. Just those areas are just not going to support like some of the others do, other cities. There was a time when Atlanta was. I mean, winning will cure some of it, sure. Atlanta, and Lord knows they had their years when they had horrible attendance. But they sell out most of their games now, or a lot of them, and so I give them that. The city does support the Braves, and they have put a pretty good product on the field. I just think it should be better, but Atlanta, the new stadium and all that. I've been there. It's really nice. I like it. That whole battery and everything. That's the model now for cities building, especially baseball and everything. That and any kind of stadium is to get because you can just walk around for hours out there. And, it's not a stadium sitting in the middle of a bunch of parking lots. That's the bad part is parking, finding parking. But once you're out and you can walk around, if you don't mind walking, I'm a little surprised it's that high. I thought they'd be just outside the top 10. That's a good number. And that's I mean, they have came a long way and they put on it's a good product. I love the Braves. I've always been a Braves fan. I'm a little bit frustrated because, like I said, they're owned by this holding group, or whatever, and they gave them liberty up to so much, but they just don't. They don't take it to another level that I wish they would. But hey, they do put it. They'll be exciting and they'll be good if their pitching can hold. That's the worry. If the pitching can hold, the Braves should have a good year, but they're not picked higher than third because of the Mets and the Phillies. So they're gonna have to have something happen. Yeah, man. I get it. I appreciate you giving me the year. I'm amazed. Sometimes you can't get that stuff for next year. So I'm glad that I appreciate you looking that up for me. It's a big help. I don't have no engineer. I didn't pre-pick all that up. I didn't plan on covering it, but I'm glad we did because that's important. And I do think there's going to be teams. I'm honestly surprised they haven't already pulled the plug on two of those teams. I don't know why the owner would not want that. I mean, they've done everything they can do. They've run every promotion they want to. They've partnered with businesses. The baseball itself has done everything they can to try to get attendance up in those areas. It's just not going to happen. And so at some point you got to pull the plug and say, this ain't working. And we got to, got to do something. It's not good for baseball to have. I mean, you're always going to, somebody's got to be the lowest. I get it. But you want to be high enough that that lowest is pretty high. And those areas are just not going to do it. I was in Tampa once when I was preaching in a church. I think the World Series was going on. I'm almost certain of that. Because if I remember right, there was a bad wreck or something. Somebody got killed there. Now, me and my wife were down there in a hotel. I think. I can't hardly remember now. It's been so many years ago, but beautiful area. I want to tell you though, my first trip into Tampa, we were staying in Tampa and drove over to Orlando for the attractions and stuff. But we were staying there and went to Busch Gardens. Anyway, we went. We went down the road from the motel. We were just trying to look for a quick fast food, and we stopped at McDonald's. And oh my gosh, you go from nice part of town to bad part of town pretty quick on some parts of that city. And we walked into a McDonald's. The staff was great, but it looked like a tornado came through and just threw everything on the floor. They were really busy and they didn't have time to clean up, and people just threw their crap on the floor. I couldn't believe it. And it was we got some funny looks. We'll just say that in that part of town, we got some funny looks coming in that McDonald's. So we started looking for other areas of the city after that. Yeah, I was right. I wasn't speaking of church. That was a vacation we took. That was a long time ago. 25 years ago we were down there. So yeah, it was a long time ago. We've been back though, but I think it was when we went back. I don't think I'm putting two to. I think it was when we went back. Yeah, the vacation, the kids weren't there. I think it was me and her, just me and her. So that's been newer. So two memories coming together. What else is going on? Oh, and I was going to say that there was a big signing today. The money is crazy. The Orioles and pitcher Shane Baz, according to ESPN, 5-year, $68 million deal. Big money. Big money. NFL news. I heard about this today. The guy had some problems at one time, but former Raiders center Barrett Robbins has died at 52 years old. No cause of death given. Former teammate Tim Brown was the first to deliver the news. He said, "Good evening. It's with great regret that I tell you I just received a call from Marissa Robbins informing me that Raiders All-Pro center Barrett Robbins passed away overnight." He wrote, "Thankfully, he passed peacefully in his sleep. Pray for their girls, his family, and tons of teammates will be affected by this. It's unfortunate that his life was never the same after he was not allowed to play in the Super Bowl. Rest peacefully, BR. You deserve it." Andre Kramer, with a picture of him there, them together at some point. Sad to hear of the passing of Barrett Robbins. He trusted me to tell his story over the years. Deepest condolences to Marissa Marley and Madison. Truly, rest in peace, Barrett. There was the situation where he disappeared from the team, right? It was, for almost 24 hours, he disappeared before Super Bowl in 2003. His coach, Bill Callahan, said he was incoherent when he returned and was unable to play. Robbins later said he hadn't taken his medication for depression and bipolar disorder. He played 9 games in 2003, his final season with the Raiders. He was released in 2004 for use of performance-enhancing drugs. Following his career, he was involved in multiple incidents with law enforcement. This is an ESPN article. Give full credit. In 2005, he was shot 3 times by police investigators. They reported burglary in Miami Beach, Florida, and pleaded guilty to 5 charges. In 2011, Robbins was sentenced to 5 years in prison for a drug-related probation violation and was released in 2012. He was charged with assaulting a woman and her daughter outside a Florida hotel in 2016. This is an interesting story. It was released today. The Florida Attorney General is challenging the Rooney Rule been out there for a long time, and calling on the NFL to suspend it or face possible civil rights action. James Youthmeyer sent a letter to NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell Wednesday to express concern that the Rooney Rule, which requires teams to interview external minority candidates for specific positions, is blatant race and sex discrimination, and that hiring decisions should be based on merit only. Because I quote, NFL fans in Florida don't care what color their coach's skin is, Youthmeyer wrote. They care what colors their coach is wearing, and that those colors are winning on the football field. The Rooney Rule and its offshoots are illegal in Florida. The NFL acknowledged receiving the letter and that the league is reviewing its contents. Quote, we believe our policies are consistent with the law and reflect our commitment to fairness, opportunity, and building the strongest possible teams, end quote, NFL Executive Vice President Jeff Miller said. Youthmeyer said in a video posted on X that the rule violates Florida law by requiring race-based considerations to hiring. In the letter, Youthmeyer asked Goodell to confirm no later than May 1st of this year that the NFL will no longer enforce the rule or any variation or extension thereof, which requires consideration of race, sex, or any other prohibited classification on teams in Florida. Failure to provide such confirmation may result in a civil rights enforcement action. Politico reported that Youthmeyer was also sent a letter to the owners of the NFL's 3 Florida-based teams. The Rooney Rule was adopted in 2003, requires NFL clubs to interview 2 external minority candidates for vacant head coach, general manager, and coordinator positions, and that happens. Now, sometimes they, and honestly, those interviews are, if they're not, they already know a lot of times who they want. They may have it down to a couple, but they just come in and give them the interview because they're required to do it. So I don't think that they too much. I mean, obviously, who's the guy? I know his name for Kansas City, the offensive coordinator. I think he may have moved. I don't know if he's still there or not. Who always gets interviewed. This offseason, Tennessee Titans coach Robert Saleh, who is of Lebanese descent, was the only minority candidate to land a top coaching job, and no black coaches were hired for the 10 openings. Head of the Super Bowl, Goodell said the NFL would take a closer look at the Rooney Rule and all that it encompasses to continue to make progress on diversity. Pittsburgh Steelers owner Art Rooney II, who is the chair of the NFL's Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion DEI committee, and whose father Dan is the namesake of the rule, told ESPN on Friday that the league will have an obligation to consider Youthmeyer's demands. Quote, there's no question that the environment has changed in recent years, end quote. Rooney told ESPN, quote, we do have an obligation to make sure that our policies comply with the laws, whatever the law is and whatever changes in law might be. We've got to look at that and make sure we're in compliance. That's just the environment we're existing in today, end quote. Interesting. I think we all say the same thing. And listen, you're going to hire who you're going to hire. If you can make them do this, but that doesn't change it. They're going to hire who they hire. And I think more coaches are getting those opportunities all the time. And certainly you're seeing that at many levels. But yeah, let's hire the best one. If they don't, then they suffer for it. This one brought back memories for me. I saw this today because of I was growing up. I was a big fan of George Gervin, the Iceman, played for San Antonio. Love that name. Love watching him play. What a slick player. Just smooth, good shooter. Anyway, he's irked that your Bears team, broski. He has filed that Williams, the quarterback, has filed a trademark for Iceman. He had George Gervin, the Hall of Famer, 4-time NBA champion, said that he was caught off guard when he learned that Williams had attempted to trademark Iceman, the nickname that the quarterback earned during the 25 season for his late game performances that culminated with the Bears winning their first playoff game in 15 years. Quote, I've been the Iceman for 40-something years. I never thought anybody would try to trademark it. It kind of knocked me out of the box. Oh, Caleb Williams Holding Inc. filed 4 trademark applications with the United States Patent. The Iceman should have trademarked this. He may lose on this deal. You have to have it filed. You have to actually use it too. If you're not using it, those things can be stripped from you. And according to the application, goods and services related to the name include athletic sporting goods and equipment, water bottles, t-shirts, sweatshirts, jerseys, hats, eyewear, and downloadable posters and digital trading cards. On March 20th, Gervin Interest LLC filed 2 trademark applications for Iceman and Iceman 44, the latter of which references the jersey number Gervin wore throughout his NBA career. In 1987, the San Antonio Spurs retired Gervin's number. One of the biggest questions, according to trademark attorney Josh Gerben of Gerben IP, is how trademark rights are viewed. He said that Gervin could claim that even though he didn't file the trademark, he was using it before Williams, even though Williams filed it first. That's true. He has a history with it. But because Williams filed his application first, the USPTO could accept his application and refuse Gervin's. Boy, that will be, he'll lose big time because this guy's young, he's exciting, he's, all the money and stuff now, and he can lose out big time. It's expected to take several months on the decision. If Williams' application is accepted, Gerben said George will have a 30-day period in which he can file a formal opposition to Caleb's applications and say they shouldn't be registered because I was using those trademarks long ago and the public associates the name with me, which is true. I do associate the name with George Gervin. Gerald Barisano, the president and CEO of Gervin Global Management, told ESPN that he and Gervin will file to plan an opposition with USPTO if Williams' trademark application is approved, and theirs is not. Gervin's publicist of 42 years also said that they will consider legal action in the future. So, Caleb Williams posted on X, I don't care about where your fandom stands. I was trying to give you and everyone else the benefit of the doubt about knowing business and being smart about it, but I guess not. Foolish of me, ! Also, words matter, Skip Bayless. Steal. Enjoy that podcast. Skip Bayless said, I'm a Caleb Williams fan, but I was a much bigger Iceman Gervin fan, and I'm offended Caleb and company are trying to steal George's all-time great nickname. I unleash on today's Arena Gridiron 2:30 Eastern. There's one other wrinkle, too. UFC legend Chuck Liddell filed for a trademark in 2023 for Chuck, the Iceman Liddell. Gervin said the USPTO could decide that mark is similar to both Williams and Gervin's. So there's a lot at stake here. And I agree. I agree with you, Broski. He should have already done it. It's like, oops. Yeah, plenty of time to do. Caleb is a businessman. He found a capital management firm called 888 Midas and the Caleb Cares Foundation. Caleb asked the Bears to pay his LLC instead of him for tax breaks. Smart kid. George should have got off his blank, Buckus, and filed it for decades before Caleb was born. I can't believe he didn't. I honestly cannot believe that this day and time with the marketing that's going on, I'm shocked, actually. I did not know that it was not. Think about it, broski. We could have claimed that. I wouldn't have had the money to fight it in court, but maybe they'd paid me some money to go away. I just never thought about that. It's kind of like an email address. People project and they go out there and they get the email that they think something's fixing to be big. And so sometimes these people that want that email.com or whatever it is, they'll pay them money to get it back. And that's what people do. They make money off of going out and just projecting. There are players in middle school right now where somebody's probably claimed an email address, an IPO, whatever, and said, I'm going to hold on to this. Who knows? It's worth the money invested in it because I think this kid's going to be a great one, and I'm going to go ahead and get on it. Or if something as soon as happens, and the other thing that happens, because you hear about it all the time, is the porn sites. The porn sites do the same thing, trying to run traffic through their porn sites, trying to get in on the action when they hear, no pun intended there. That didn't come out right. But getting traffic their way by getting something very similar. Now, Iceman, I'm sure there'll be a porn site with something Iceman. He is a bright kid. The only thing I ever had against him, I'm not his judge. I just didn't like the bad word he's putting on his fingers by the letter and the other team. I thought if you're going to be a professional, and he is, and you want to get all the endorsements and all of this and all that, you can still be a tough guy. Nobody's telling you got to have the clean altar boy mouth. But I thought that was beneath him as a guy that was, going into the Heisman, that was a thing. I would have thought coaches, parents, somebody would sit down and say, hey, you're grown, but think about it, kid. That's just maybe not what you want to do. Anyway, that's the only thing that I say. I don't know if he still does that. I kind of think that probably doesn't happen in the NFL. I think NFL would have a big problem with that in the team. And, they've probably talked to him about that. Of course, if it's on the gloves, they wouldn't know. But that's the only thing that I really ever thought about that. So, anyway, that's the show for tonight. This show's going to be on a lot because I really want to talk about sports throughout the week. And once a week, it's just not enough to get it all in. And we just try to put together as much as we can after the racing. So, the Wolf Nation Sports will handle that. Who knows? We might pop back in tonight after the baseball. We'll talk about the Braves' first game. And I'll be back in a little while with Back Porch Living or Life, kind of bouncing two names around. He's took huge steps forward this season under Ben Johnson. He's a leader now. He's a true franchise quarterback. He's going to keep getting better. And I agree with everything you said. Broski, we really do agree on so much. We really do. I enjoy your insightfulness, and nobody can agree on everything, but we do agree on a lot, and you bring a lot, and that's what I always say. I always said, Broski would come into my sports show, and I'd say, man, he brings some great points. I like having him show up for that, and anything. But that was the first thing I was wanting. I always wanted in the sports show. Whenever I did sports, I thought Broski, he knows his sports. He knows what he likes. He sells it like it is. And I like that. I like it. That's what. So the Wolf Nation Sports is going to be more of a conversation and just talking about some of these other issues like that, but the games themselves and, just having fun with it. So as we script a little bit on the other because we just have to keep it laid out that way. This one's going to be more like a conversation. So, and other people will be joining as well. But that's the show for tonight. I'll be back in a bit. Going to eat some dinner, spend a little time with the wife. It's Friday night. Looking forward in the morning. Cornbread Man and Biscuit Boy morning show. Always love that. We look forward to it. We can squeeze in a second. We would. We will. We'll kick off around 8:30 for the other one. We'll see. We're still doing a few things into the studio. Thanks to Paul and his lovely wife for the nice love seat that we now have in our studio, where you will see guests now sitting, and my son's sitting there. I'm keeping the camera off of him. Thank you, broski. That's awful nice to say. I appreciate it. I got my haters. Everybody does, I guess. I got my haters. These people mad. They hate me. They're mad at me. I hear it all the time. I'm mad at you. I can't help that. But I do enjoy what I do. I do enjoy. We got some big things going on. I mean that. I say that all the time, but we really are pushing as hard as we can, as funds will allow and everything. We are so working. We got a great team here. We're having fun. You remember Daryl? He's a big sports guy. I hate it. I was trying to get him to come in live with me. He just can't. Y'all pray for him. And Dean was working, or he'd pop in. He might pop in tonight. Who knows after he gets off work. But Sunday morning, the word I'll get back. We didn't make it last week. I didn't sleep good that night. I mean, it was a bad night. And sometimes, like I said, my wife's health, she comes first. Sunday afternoon, we are going to go. We're going to, even though Dean's got to work, but we're going to go live with the race again. I'm going to talk about the race again. Go live during the race, and then we'll do something that night. Anyway, hey, you know what? The draft is just around the corner. Baseball's here. We got NASCAR. Football is going to be keying up really quick, and we've got the field. Well, maybe we get in not talk about the basketball, the tournament. Been some upsets, and hockey's still out there. NBA, NBA. There's a lot of sports. I love this time of year as we get into the spring, summer sports. It's fantastic. Who knows? We might even talk some boxing. I don't know. I bet Broski's a boxing fan. I bet he is. All right. We'll see you in a bit. Take care. God bless. Pray for the country. Pray for our soldiers. We need it. There's a lot of threats going around. I don't know where they're at. Pray for Annie Cyrus, our guest we had. We're going to replay that. I've got to do something to it before I replay it. But it's out there. But I'm going to do a little promo before it, and then we'll put it back out. We're going to take care of that this weekend, and then we're going to keep airing that a lot. But pray for her. It's horrible. She has to move every 2 months or so due to death threats. God bless her, and I'm loving her shows. And my book, I thought it was going to be I thought it was going to be in yesterday or today. It's in one of the local mail, so maybe tomorrow, maybe Monday. I can't wait to get started on it. Take care, though. We'll see you soon.